Azam, Part 327. The first interview left an impression that was not dispelled by the subsequent meetings. Mountbatten found Jinnah frigid, haughty, and disdainful. One wonders what else the Quaid could have been in presence of this great grandson, or whatever the Malika Victoria. Mountbatten's meeting with Churchill cited in the transfer of power merits our attention somewhat out of turn, as this took place on 27 May 1947. To start with, Churchill inquired of Mountbatten whether he had received a letter from Nehru accepting Dominion status if power was transferred this year. Mountbatten, recalling the interview records, I replied in the affirmative and added that I had given a copy to the Prime Minister. I printed out that I had been unable to obtain a similar written assurance from Mr. Jinnah, to which Mr. Churchill expressed great surprise. By God, he said, he is the one man who cannot do without British help. I pointed out that Mr. Jinnah's method of procedure could not be predicted by logic, and I told him that I must have a definite line of action to pursue in the event of his refusing to make up his mind about Dominion status. I told him that I proposed to inform Mr. Jinnah that in that case we could go ahead with the transfer of power this year on a Dominion status basis for Hinduism, for Hindustan. So the Dominion status basis for Hindustan, with an option for the Dominion status to be taken up later at any time by Pakistan. He told me that the Conservative Party might not agree to the passing legislation under those terms, and that he might in fact have to oppose this. I then asked if he would advise me how I should proceed if Jinnah was intransigent. According to Mountbatten, Churchill reflected upon this for a long time and finally said, "To begin with, you must threaten, take away all British officers, give them military units without British officers, make it clear to them how impossible it would be to run Pakistan without British help." This account certainly questions two myths, and as several comments with impeccable logic. First, that it was benevolent Labour government which, out of the goodness of its heart and its love for freedom, transferred power to India. Secondly, that Wavell, who had persisted in asking HMG to make declaration about the withdrawal from India by a specified date, was a defeatist. As we have seen, when it became known that Wavell was leaving India, Azad issued a statement paying glowing tributes to Wavell's services to India and castigating Attlee's government lacking courage, for which India paid the price of partition, or at any rate the price for more than 600,000 people massacred and about 150,000, no it's not, it's 1.5 million, and 1.5 million uprooted from their homes and compelled to migrate in disorder and great distress. Wavell and Mountbatten were in reality different temperaments and style, if they were almost being of different species. Mountbatten was flamboyant, Wavell was reserved, reflective, and introvert, as candidly in his diary he admits. I have not that convinced certainly of my wisdom that Field Marshal Montgomery has, for instance. 31 December 1946. Wavell was innately modest and courteous and fair. Recording his views about Mountbatten's appointment, he had written, "No doubt he would be more able in this job than I have been." Wavell was an author and a biographer. A historian attributes that one simply cannot adorn Mountbatten with. Wavell was characteristically amusing entry in his journal, bringing out a fundamental difference between them.